So hello everyone, welcome here to the 7th annual British RallyCross Grand Prix from the Croft circuit here in the United Kingdom to kick off the 2014 A season in style, as it's Josh Mertz up here in the commentary box bringing you the call for the Automotive Sports Network. Today we have 13 cars to do battle on this special course. As all of you know, we have the 4 paths, 4 laps. Every single race is 4 laps. We had that fancy graphic, but then they realized it's Croft and we don't need it. So we had a graphic showing you the layouts, but you will understand through the broadcast there are 4 paths, there are 4 laps for each race. The heat race is LCQ in the final, and you have to take each path once. The top 2 from the heats advance automatically, the top 2 from the LCQ advance automatically, and we are getting ready for the first of our 3 heats today. On pole will be, I believe that is Dylan Smith in car number 22. Yes, that is. In the new LMT Red Bull Repsol Volkswagen car for Brandon Lambert. Car number 2, Tristan Hagenstein, Chris Wett, 71, Casey Lester, car number 50, the only privateer in this heat, as he will join Steve Rada, the 2 privateers entered in this race. The other 3 are constructor entries from 3 different manufacturers. We have Volkswagen, Subaru, and Mitsubishi. As Cody Erdman unable to attend today's race, so Tristan Hagenstein will fill in for his new teammate in car number 2 for Red Bull Subaru MRT, as those drivers will be using their personal sponsors for today's race. But you will see them in their multicolored Red Bull cars starting next week in Valkenswaard in the Netherlands, and that will be a great race. This is a great race too, but it's an entirely different format to what we have in all the other races in the season. We have the 4 laps as they're all gridded up, and it looks like final preparations getting ready to go. Just making sure everyone is ready. Getting the launch control set. Revving them up for heat number 1 of 2014A. Glad you can join us here, and it's lights out and away we go. And off the line, who will get the jump? It looks like it's Wetz and Hagenstein as Smith has to lag back. Side by side, down the main straightaway, into corner number 1, we will be proceeding into, and it's Hagenstein, bump from Smith to Wetz in 71.22, and in 4th will be Casey Lester. Now, the funnel point, who goes where? Hagenstein goes off-road, so does Lester. Smith is upside down! Dylan Smith flipping in car number 22 in the Volkswagen! Already, this is not a good way to start the season off for the driver of the Volkswagen, as in the pit lane is Wetz, and Hagenstein will lead at the end of lap 1, it looks like, as Lester giving him pressure through the off-road section. And around the corner to end lap 1, it's Hagenstein, Lester, Smith, and Wetz. As it looks like Smith hit the curb, had too much grip on one side of the car, and it tossed him over, but we're going to see if Lester can give the fight, as Lester's on 2 wheels, take the fight to Hagenstein. No, he can't, as Smith goes off-road. So Hagenstein in car number 2 will take the jump in the Klondike Subaru for Red Bull Subaru MRT. And looks like Lester will take it to the pit lane in car number 50, but this will cycle through, or he takes the Gymkhana, and this will keep Hagenstein in the lead. So halfway through heat number 1, and Dylan Smith having issues in car number 22, but it looks like he will be 2nd, and Wetz rounding the off-road section. He will be in 3rd spot in car number 71. Lester will be 4th. As to the pit lane, we'll go Hagenstein in car number 2, out and away from the field here, as it's Hagenstein 2 wheels! He saved it! Will the crew service him? Yes, they will. Smith in the pit lane as well, but I believe this is going to let Wetz cycle through, as we're going to come to the white flag. Chris Wetz in car number 71, I believe. Let's check the delta here. Left side's going down. Jack is dropped, but Wetz has the momentum on the outside in car number 71. And rounding the final corner to start the white flag lap, it's Wetz and Hagenstein in the transfer spots for heat number 1. You get a bonus point if you win the heat, and we saw last season with Josh Mertz, who won 9 heats. If you win your heat, it gives you bonus points. You tally those up, you can possibly win the championship at the end if it's a close battle, as Hagenstein giving it all he can to give his team owner an extra bonus point in the Constructors' Championship. but rounding the final corner, will it be close between Wetz and Hagenstein? Wetz runs it wide, Hagenstein gets the grip in the middle, but he can't do it, and Chris Wetz will win the opening heat of the season. Transferring through will be Hagenstein in car number 2 in a close fight at the end, and Casey Lester will come home in 3rd, as Dylan Smith looks like he has issues in car number 22. So we will get ready for heat number 2, and this is a tad on the unprofessional side, but I would like to apologize if my sniffling is coming over on the commentary feed. Allergies are not playing nice with me here at this current moment. So here we go for heat number 2, and it looks like there's a satellite issue with Dylan Livingood's car, so give us a second here to dissect the issue as to what is going on with car number 51. As apparently our satellites are not picking up his livery very well. So we're going to check it here to make sure that there is no issue. And apparently we have the livery, but if it does not appear, well, we'll try and fix this. But for right now, apparently the satellite is not playing nice with Dylan Livingood, so that ugly gray car is him. And we apologize for that. We thought we had it, but apparently we don't. So the Revolution Junior car, Brandon Nicholson, will be on the pole position, followed by Brandon Lambert, Dylan Livingood, and Steve Rada. That will be your grid for heat number 2. We're revving them up. Didn't take them that long. And we are lights out, and away we go. And off the line, Livingood gets the whole shot in car number 51. Lambert follows through. So the Triple Crown champion followed by the inaugural champion. Going into corner number 1, Livingood leads, flinging it in there, I should say. And Lambert had the run, but he could not take advantage of it. And off-road will go Livingood. And he's the only one to do that. As to the pit lane will be Lambert in car number 21, followed by Rada in car number 52. So this will leave Brandon Nicholson in the Junior Mitsubishi, the Revolution Junior Mitsubishi, to lead at the end of lap number 1. And this will let Livingood be placed to 2nd, as the other 2 are in the pit lane. So now Nicholson trying to pull away, and Livingood has clear track, so he could use this to his advantage. He doesn't have any cars near him, and Lambert has clear track as well. So Nicholson will go to the pit lane in car number 37, and it looks like he got confused over the radio pit lane speed. That was not specified in the driver's meeting. And coming to the end of lap number 2, it's going to be Dylan Livingood who rounds the final corner on the regular course and will take the lead in the Rockstar Mitsubishi. And 2 laps to go for Livingood in car number 51. And Lambert will cycle through to the 2nd spot. And Rada hits the wall in car number 52, trying to get to the Gymkhana section. And this is all going to be down to if Livingood has the Delta. As Nicholson and Lambert are battling, they're starting their 3rd lap. So we're going to see here what will happen between these two. And that could be a tricky merge! Lambert got out ahead, and rounding the final corner to begin the final lap, it's going to be Livingood leading. And where's Lambert? There he is. That should be enough delta. He's going to take to the jump to go to the Gymkhana. So will Nicholson in car number 37, and Nicholson having an issue. So it's all up to Livingood to see if he can indeed take the fight to Lambert. It's going to be between them, and we know that Livingood, if he can get on the front row, he will be unstoppable into turn 1. So Lambert starting the lap. Livingood will pull into his pit stall. The Revolution Racing crew will go to work. The quadruple champions, let's see what he can do. Lambert rounds the corner, taking the chicane. I don't believe he has the short lap left, so this might affect him. See Livingood, corner of your screen, should come into shot right about now. Where is he? They dropped the jack, but he's not even close. And winning heat number 2 will be Lambert. Transferring will be Livingood in car number 51. As Nicholson will finish in the 3rd spot, and Rada will finish in the 4th spot as the drivers for heat number 3 will be on track here momentarily, as that was an interesting race, you could say, as it's quite surprising to see Living Good. He had the Delta. I don't know where he possibly lost that race, but unfortunately, he did. So we're going to see here our tech guys are apparently fixing the issue that we had with Living Good's car at the moment, as the drivers are on track for their reconnaissance laps for heat number 3. As almost ready, says the guy in the truck. And we should be good to go here for heat number 3. Is everyone pulling up to the grid? And this will be an interesting heat, as we missed the start. It's lights out and away we go. That's never happened before. But Mertz pulls out to a lead. We have Sherman in the pink top cars, Nick Cars, and then Adam Simons, Luke Fleming, as the teammates are side by side. Cars sideways, upside down, and around he goes. And it looks like that is going to be a red flag. So we don't have to worry about missing the start. As to the pit lane, yeah, that's a red flag. Red flag. So for once, missing the start was a good thing, as we have a race restart for the first time in 2014A. And apologize for all these issues that we've been having through this broadcast, as the All-Star race was a test, essentially. So on pole will be Luke Fleming, then it'll be double defending champion Josh Mertz, Nick Cars, Keith Sherman, and the Red Bull car, right behind Sherman, you can barely see, is Adam Simons on a one-race deal for Subaru MRT Junior. So we have 3 Subarus and 2 Fords in this final heat. Is everyone getting lined up and ready to go for the third and final heat today? And it looked as though Cars got sideways, blocked the track, and his teammate piled in. So we'll see what happens here in this heat. This restart, I should say. So once again, it's Fleming, Mertz, Cars, Sherman, and the back row Simons, who can pick his gate, but apparently you can't see him, as I'm being told in my headset. As race official Dylan Livingood trying to make sure everyone's lined up, but he is trying way too hard. That's why it's been taking a while to get everyone lined up. He is really particular as to how they line up. So here we go. Heat number 3 is about to be going. It's lights out and away we go. And off the line, Cars, gets the run. Sherman as well. The 3 Subarus are lagging back. Into corner number 1. Who will get the jump? It's Cars, Sherman, Mertz, Simons, Fleming. Now Mertz doesn't want to be behind these 2 slow Fords, so he's going to find his way around. As a terrible start from the double defending champion as the 2 Fords go off-road. The Subarus, where will they decide to go? All 3 of them will hit the pit lane, and the Fords will go off-road. Mertz hits his stall. Simons hits the wall. I kind of rhymed there. Haha, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. As Luke Fleming hits the pit lane as well. So all 3 Subarus in the same shot in the pit lane. And these 2 are having a cracking battle for the lead so far. And they round the final corner onto the main straight. 3 laps to go, and it's Cars that's leading over Sherman. Mertz leads out of the pit lane, followed by Simons, followed by Fleming. So Cars and Sherman having a nice battle for the first spot here, and the second spot, as Sherman 2 wheels, and Cars will take to the jump, but he hits it wrong, and sideways he is. He takes it to the pit lane, but he will lose the lead, as apparently he wanted to take to the Gymkhana jump. As the 2 Mangled Lemons cars are now in the pit lane. And Simon's having issues over the jump through the off-road. Mertz will round the corner, and it looks like, will Fleming filter through? It's going to be an interesting merge here between the teammates. Not at all. Fleming leads at the end of lap 2, followed by Mertz in car number 1. followed by Simons, as the two teammates. Sherman has pipped his teammate, as we saw on entry to the pit lane. So this will be interesting for the merge. Simons and Sherman, no issue at all. Fleming goes off-road. Mertz will take to the regular course. I believe he has to take to his Gymkhana jump, so yes, he does in car number 1. And Simons in second place for MRT Jr. Sherman goes as well, and the Mangled Lemons cars are tangling and wrecking as Keith Sherman upside down. So the teammates swapped places. White flag for Mertz. Fleming is in second. Will the teammates battle for the transfer spot as the two Mangled Lemons cars are out of it? But this is a cracking battle for the second and final transfer spot in heat number 3 between the two MRT Junior teammates. You have the full season contracted driver of Fleming and the one-off driver of Simons. Will there be a move aside order from the one-off driver? Who knows what will happen? Mertz is going to round the final corner. Fleming will dive to the inside. Mertz wins heat 3. Simons runs it wide. Fleming goes to the inside. And who's going to get the transfer spot? It's going to be Fleming, who will transfer through. Simons goes to the LCQ. Nick Cars will be in the 4th spot. And also Keith Sherman will be in the LCQ as he finishes 5th in heat 3. What a cracking battle for the transfer spot. As now the LCQ, which will have 7 drivers in it, and this is going to be interesting. As getting ready here for the LCQ. Here in round number 1, on pole Casey Lester, Keith Sherman, Steve Rada, and Dylan Smith. And it's Brandon Nicholson, Adam Simons, and Nick Cars will be your order. So here we go, revving them up for the LCQ. It's lights out and away we go. Who gets the whole shot? It is Lester as they cross the start-finish line. Lester gets the whole shot. Dylan Smith side by side with Keith Sherman. Then it's Simons with Nicholson, and Sherman off the road is Cars. So Smith is in second. Sherman, Simons, Nicholson, Rada, Cars, your running order. Off-road goes Simons and Nicholson, followed by Rada and Cars. To the pit lane goes Lester. Smith shoots the gap to pass him entering the pit lane. As that's the action we've been looking forward to seeing through the pit lane. As this will filter Simons through to the lead in the Subaru. The man who, if you open his closet, I'm sure there's about 10 different sets of overalls in there, as he's been on about 10 different teams. At the end of lap 1, he leads, followed by Rada, but to the outside of him goes Nicholson, trying to take the fight to the privateer. And I don't think he'll be able to get it. Simons, Rada, Nicholson, Cars, Smith, Sherman, Lester, your running order. As Simons trying to pull away, but I don't believe he's taken to the pit lane. Cars upside down in car number 35. But it looks like he's back going again. Rada's off the track. Into the pit lane goes Simons. Nicholson goes to Gymkhana. Off-road Smith. Regular course Rada. And Sherman off-road along with Lester to Gymkhana. Cars is having an issue in Gymkhana. And Rada will lead at the end of lap number 2. Nicholson in second now. And you can say that Croft is kind of like a proper rally race, as you really, except at the start, you really only have to mind your own business, because there's really no point as when you have traffic in front of you. To an extent, you could say. And Rada having an issue as he hits the wall over the Gymkhana jump. So this will take him out of the lead, and he is pulling off the track, I believe, trying to let everyone by. So we will see where this puts us, as Sherman having an issue upside down over the Gymkhana jump again. So in the lead is Dylan Smith as he takes the white flag in car number 22, followed by Simons in car number 84. Lester best of the rest currently, but who knows what will happen as the two Mangled Lemons cars are 4th and 5th. 6th is Nicholson, 7th is Rada. So now he will cruise around, as that's the gap. Lots of room between Smith and Simons. And Smith and Simons, former teammates at MRT back in 2012B. One of them has moved on to Volkswagen, and he will win the LCQ and be on the front row with the heat winners. Simons will take the back row And the best of the rest finishing 9th place, Casey Lester. 10th place will be Keith Sherman. 11th place will be Brandon Nicholson in car number 37. 12th place will be Nick Cars. And 13th will be Steve Rada. And now it is time for the final, where everyone completely loses their minds and forgets how to drive. Just kidding. They do know how to drive, to an extent. Here we go. On pole, Chris Wetz. Then it's Brandon Lambert, Mertz, Dylan Smith. Back row has Tristan Hagenstein, Dylan Livingood, Luke Fleming, and Adam Simons. We haven't fixed the satellite issue on Livingood's car, but you'll just have to deal with it. And it's lights out, and away we go. Who gets the hole shot for the first round of the championship? It's too close to call at the line. It's Mertz by a hair. And entering corner number 1. Will Mertz get clear? Yes, he does. Side by side, Wetz and Lambert. Livingood bumps Wetz. Around he goes, and into the wall he goes, and stacking him up to begin the first round of the championship. Livingood bumped his teammate, sent him around. And this ends Smith upside down, and red flag for the first time this season, as we're going to let them cycle around here and see if we can possibly get a replay as to what happened. I don't believe we will be able to, but we will try our best. It looks like Livingood tagged Wetz, and it turned him around, and he hit the wall and came back, and there's not a lot of room when there's a car on the way. So we're going to see here, the cars are momentarily gridding up. And here we are, back to live pictures. And we've been trying to fix the satellite issue with Livingood. It still hasn't fixed itself, so we'll go yell at Livingood. It's his fault. So, cars gridding back up for the first attempt at a race restart. And I sincerely apologize. All of us do as well at ASN here, as Livingood misses the grid in car number 51. We don't know why the 51's not playing nice with our satellites, but we will try and fix it for Valkenswaard next week. As he's running into everyone, showing that he is a Triple Crown champion and he does know what to do. So, Wetz, Lambert, Mertz, Smith, Hagenstein, Livingood, Fleming, Simons. That's the grid for the final. We're trying it again here, folks. Round number 1 on the NASA Rallycross Challenge is lights out, and away we go. And off the line, Lambert gets the jump, followed by Mertz, Wetz, Smith, and then it's too close to call for 5th, as Fleming got a terrible start. And into turn 1, it's Lambert, Mertz, Wetz, off the road is Smith. And Wetz bumps Mertz, and upside down the champion goes into the wall. He's over on his side, and I believe that's his race run. So, the champion is out, and we will see what happens here as car into the pit lane goes Simons, upside down is Smith, and into the wall. Around he goes is Fleming. Blocking the track, it looks like, is Hagenstein with Wetz, and race restart called for the second time. As that was a cluster, and you know who's breathing a sigh of relief? It's that guy right there in car number 1. As he was on his side and done in turn number 1 for the first time in a long time. And that luck, he did not like that luck last season. So lucky for car number 1, lucky break for him. But we will re-grid him for the second time today. So pulling up to the grid, this hopefully will be the last attempt at a race restart. Will be... do I have to regurgitate the grid for you guys? You already know it, but it's a tradition for me. Okay, so everyone's pulling up and getting ready. Hopefully this will be the final attempt, but either way, Wetz, Lambert, Mertz, Smith, Hagenstein, Livingood, Fleming, Simons. That's your grid. You've known it for about 5 minutes now. And hopefully, we won't have to see all of these cars on this grid again until next season. So we're revving them up. Launch control being set. Everyone getting prepared for round number 1 of the NASA Rallycross Challenge in 2014A. Glad you can join us, and it's lights out and away we go. And off the line, the Volkswagens get a great start. Wetz gets the whole shot. No, it's Lambert. 3 wide for the lead going into corner number 1. Who's going to get the edge? Mertz is going to shoot the gap between Smith and Wetz. Off the road is Lambert in car number 21, and that will allow car number 1 to take the lead. As the split will occur, Mertz goes regular, everyone does except for Lambert. And around is Simons in car number 84. Lambert goes off-road, so does Fleming. Pit lane goes Mertz, Smith, Wetz, Gymkhana goes to Hagenstein, and Livengood will lead at the end of lap number 1 in the Rockstar Energy Revolution Racing Mitsubishi Lancer. Second place will be Hagenstein in car number 2. Third place will be Fleming. Fourth will be Lambert. Fifth will be Mertz as he exits his pit stall. The Subaru, or the Volkswagen, excuse me, gets stuck behind the Subaru. Fifth, 6th, 7th, and 8th, Mertz, Wetz, Smith, Simons. Livengood goes off-road in car number 51. Hagenstein does as well. Fleming goes to the regular course, I believe. We will see here in car number 83. No, he takes it to the pit lane. So does Lambert. So we will see who's going to round it here. Simons almost off the lead lap. Rounding the corner. We are halfway through the first round of the championship here in Croft, and it's Livengood, the Triple Crown champion, who leads so far, followed by Hagenstein. Mertz is battling Wetz for third in car number 1 and car number 71. Mertz hits the wall in car number 1. Listening to radio. Transmission issues. We heard about this in practice as Livengood looks like he hit the tire barrier in car number 51, and this will allow Hagenstein to take the lead. Livengood second, Wetz third, Fleming fourth. Mertz is now fifth in car number 1, and he is having transmission issues. We heard about this in practice. The transmission is not playing nice in car number 1 as he takes the jump. He's skyward. This is not going to end very well along with the Volkswagens, and upside down is one of the Volkswagens and Mertz, and they are blocking the Gymkhana section as there is a cluster between the 2012 A champion, double champion, and his teammate. So we're on the final lap of the race. Livengood has not pitted in car number 51, and this is going to get interesting because I don't believe he has the Delta. This is the battle for the race victory between Chris Wetz and Luke Fleming, of all drivers. Where did they come from? As coming towards the final corner, we saw this last season for second, but this is for the race victory. Wetz runs it wide. Will he be able to keep it? Fleming to the inside, off the final corner. It's going to be Chris Wetz winning at Croft. Fleming is second on debut for MRT. Hagenstein is third. Livengood will take to the 4th spot in his Mitsubishi, and a battle for 5th between the first 2 champions of this series, and the double defending champion will get 5th spot over Lambert. 6th, 7th is Dylan Smith, and 8th place will be Adam Simons in his Subaru Impreza, and I have to catch my breath as what a race that we've just watched. So here are the official results as we went over the first 8 cars, but we'll go over them anyway. Chris Wetz is your victor for Revolution Racing. Luke Fleming in second. And the numbers to the right-hand side are the points as they are unchanged from the race results today. Hagenstein third, Livengood fourth, Mertz fifth, Lambert, Smith, Simons, Lester was best of the rest, and Sherman, and 11th through 13th, Nicholson, Rada, and Cars. The World Constructors Championship, Revolution Racing, 34 points over Red Bull Subaru MRT's 28, Subaru MRT Junior 26, Lambert Motorsport Technologies, Red Bull Repsol Volkswagen, that is a mouthful team name, 4th place with 22 points. Mangled Lemons Racing, 11. And Revolution Junior has 6 points. And the Manufacturers Championship, Mitsubishi 21, Subaru 17, Volkswagen 12, Ford 7. And we will pull up the drivers' points for you one more time. And make note, Casey Lester is leading the Privateer Cup by 2 points over Steve Rada from car number 50 to car number 52. So that's pretty much all we have time for here in Croft. Next week is Valkenswaard. We hope you can join us there. But until then, thank you for watching, and so long, everyone.